Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, and this is going to be the last episode that we're working on the Hilux right here in Super Garage.
This build has been an absolute monster. Putting an engine like that, so modern and awesome and turbo-y, into an old Hilux is kind of one of the dream builds really for anyone, is to modernize a classic and just make it so epic.
So now we've got to finish it off. Now we're down to those little details that we actually need to make the car work again. Wheels and tyres, I'm going to show you those. Found some awesome ones on Marketplace. You got to do the battery.
Correct.
Turbo Yoda is here again. There's some clutch things to do. We've got to put the interior back together. Exterior's got to go back together. And then the only thing left to do after all of that is dyno and diff. I don't know if we're going to do dyno first and then diff, or build the diff and then the dyno, because we kind of don't just want to do one wheel skids.
It's going to be excellent, and LSD will be a game changer in a year like that, especially with no weight in the back of it. You really want as much grip as you can get. But anyway, for this episode, let's get stuck in.
Last episode, we successfully got this engine started for the first time, which was a huge relief that the motor actually sounded healthy. But now that everything's settled into place, we've noticed that the engine is sitting a bit too low on the driver's side, which, while is not specifically a problem now, it may cause some clearance issues down the line with our center link and the custom sump cutout. So we're doing a minor adjustment to get this back in line. A small space is going to be adapted onto the engine mount, and that should fix the issue. We also need to shorten the gear lever, which currently looks like it would be better suited to a truck or a bus, so Ali's going to cut it down and then re-weld it. I'll order a simple black shift knob for it, but for now, we found this red one lying around, which will work just fine to move it around, even if it is a bit bright on the eyeballs. Now we can move on to bleeding the brakes and making sure they actually work before showing you my new set of JDM wheels.
Right now we are bleeding the brakes in preparation of putting some wheels on. Now unfortunately the wheels that came on the car, which kind of looked like a Watanabe, sort of a copy, they do not fit over our brakes, but I found on Marketplace some Raguna ZZY ZX wheels for 950 bucks. They're actually being sold by our mate Benny. So I bought them, and here they are. So this is an authentic classic JDM wheel. It is a 15x6 with an offset of +9. They're 5x114.3. And the interesting thing about this wheel is they obviously have a bit of a following with people putting them on Crowns, Datsuns, BMWs and stuff like that. But they've also got some appeal in the off-road communities as well, as people putting them on Land Cruisers and Hiluxes and stuff like that. So it's a really cool wheel. It's quite rare, very much sought after, and I think it's going to look perfect on this particular car. It's wrapped in some BF Goodrich radial TAs. This is a kind of retro looking tyre. You can also run just black if you want, but I really like the white lettering. I think it kind of suits our build. And this is a classic looking tyre, but a modern tyre that's made for modern performance and technology as well, which is going to be perfect for our Hilux. So once the brakes are finished up, we've also got some new handbrake cables that we've got to put on. Then the wheels can go on and this thing can roll under its own power for the first time in many, many weeks with its new engine. So I'm very, very excited. Let's finish the brakes and then chuck these on.
During the golden era of JDM tuning, Epsilon dropped the Raguna ZZY ZX wheels. Yes, the name is a bit of a mouthful, but the wheels themselves are pure chunky style, and they look tough on everything from old school drift missiles to show cars and off-road trucks, which is interesting because my Hilux will stylistically kind of be a combination of all of those things. I've decided to clean up my old engine bay compliance plates before they go back in the car. This is really easy with some metal polish and a Ryobi polisher. Yes, I did do the whole thing, I just did half to show you the difference. And then Al is moving on to our custom handbrake cables, which do require some welding up the back end to mount some brackets. It's now time to test fit a wheel. Now the specs of course seemed right, but I haven't actually seen a wheel on the car yet. And that looks like absolute chunky perfection. I absolutely love it.
The not so sexy part of making a car from scratch like this with all new stuff is we do need to put in a new handbrake system. So because of the brake upgrade at the rear, you do need to get your handbrake to work. This is the original ratchet here that comes off the handbrake that's inside. It's a collection of pulleys and levers and whatever. What we're doing is we're installing a hot rod aftermarket cable kit, which means you can customize it somewhat Now the absolute right way to do it is to get handbrake cables made and all like terminated and stuff, but these kits allow you to do it yourself at home on a hoist, whatever. So basically the cables will go through here, run them back through the original routing that they used to be. We've put one in here. We're able to use a lot of the original stuff, which is cool. When I made the exhaust, I tried to get it out of the way of the cables so that it would all fit, and it looks like it's going to. All we do is terminate that, put a couple of brackets, and then on the calipers we then pull in, because that used to have just drums. Now it's got the sort of integrated drum handbrake, which is great because it'll work really well and you will be able to reef on it and use it, but we need the cables to work. So we've kept the old springs off the old handbrake cable, otherwise it's all new stuff. We then cut it back, and then we've got to get the cables up into here, and then that's where they're clamped off, and that's where your adjustment is too. So not pretty, not as fun as turboing stuff, but important.
We are so lucky to have our friend Al here, because not only is he the Turbo Yoda, he's actually the Yoda of all sorts of things. Because he's a proper qualified mechanic, he's got way more experience with this stuff than we do, so he can help us get it installed properly.
Putting some of this fire sleeve over, not because it's going to get particularly hot, but the nature of these things mean they do float around a little bit. Even if you P-clip them down, they do need movement because the whole diff moves. So if it's got an extra layer on there, it means if it gives anything a little rub, it's not going to ruin our day. That looks pretty neat too.
The key to making this universal kit work well is to make sure the cables are balanced, anchored to the chassis and the diff housing, so that when you pull on it, that force is transferred smoothly to the levers on the back of the hub. If the cables are binding up or flapping around, it will not function as it should. And even though we often think of a handbrake as a tool of self-expression on a skid pan, its primary function is safety. They have fittings that will anchor the end of the cable in the correct spot so that when you yank the handbrake, it engages both sides of the car evenly. A good tip is to remove the springs off the factory handbrake system and fit them over the new cables so they disengage properly as well. We're adding some heat shrink over the fittings to keep moisture and dirt out, and then finally we can weld the two L brackets that come with the kit to the top of the diff housing. Keep in mind the Hilux has an old school hand-operated handbrake rather than a lever that sits in between the seats. And now that we know it's tested and working, we can put the wheels on, drop the car down and roll this thing off the hoist for the first time in weeks.
We're off the hoist. The Hilux drove off the hoist just. We need to bleed the clutch and make sure that's all working properly. And now just troubleshoot anything that's not working. Dave's got a bit more wiring to do, so he'll be later. We'll finish this off and then we can put the front panels on and make it look like a ute again.
But it's not all smooth sailing, because we're not able to easily grab gears when the car is running. When it's off we can select them, but the second you start it up, it's hard to get into gear.
So one random issue, Al's been through this way too much, he said. One random issue we had is this is the original Hilux master cylinder for the clutch, and the slave is the one that matches that Hilux box, but it's much bigger. So this can't really supply enough juice, essentially, to move the clutch lever enough to separate it. So Al's put heaps of travel in the pedal, which essentially makes it longer and moves more volume. But what we'll probably do is speak to the guys at Extreme Clutch and see if we can get a slave cylinder that's a different size, probably just smaller. We'll see. Either way, it works for now, which is great, but we'll fix that.
The box that's behind the 2TR is a big heavy gearbox used in big modern heavy utes. The clutches are often quite heavy duty to support carrying weight and of course towing jet skis around if you're an electrician. So manufacturers are always balancing up clutch feel, weight of the pedal and bite, and they do that by altering the size of the hydraulic system that runs it. In our case, we need to go down a size on the slave cylinder to regain the travel required to push the clutch fork far enough to disengage the clutch properly. For now, pedal travel has got us out of trouble, but we will need to address it later on. The last job for Al to do before he goes is to install the throttle pedal. Like many of our projects, we are using a Gen 4 Subaru Liberty pedal because it's easy to modify and to fit into the car. To mount it, we're able to utilise the original accelerator cable hole, and by chopping up some spaces we had lying around, it will sit evenly from the brake and clutch, which is important because if it's wrong, it just feels weird to drive. After some modifying, bending and a little bit of lathe, it's sitting in the perfect spot.
The pedal is in.
Yes.
So it is now time to burst this thing into life and have a listen. Al, I'd like to give you a big clap though right now. I think even if you're sitting at home on the count of three, everyone, if you appreciate the man, give him a clap. 1, 2, 3.
Nice power.
Thank you, Al.
The pedal was the last missing piece of the puzzle to be able to give it a nice little hear the song of its people.
Yep.
So I think we need to. Yeah, it sounds better.
Sounds smooth.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds so good. Sounds so good. Bring it in, Al. Bring
How
it in.
good's that?
Thank you, Al.
Whooshka.
Well done, boys.
Sounds so good.
That is just pure bellissimo, isn't it?
How's the
is
dose
just
on it?
absolutely incredible.
It's so incredibly dosey.
That's one reason to have a smaller turbo, is you
Just-
get maximum dose at low RPM.
Yeah. Well, I don't see any downside to that, except maybe not making 1,000 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Arguable whether you need it. That's mad.
What I do think, and I think you're all wondering, as well as I'm wondering, there's only one question we've got to ask. Do you reckon this would fit a Honda?
If it fits that nugget in there, it probably would fit a Honda engine in it. But is that better than a Honda engine?
Yes, it
That's the actual question.
No, but what do you think?
Well, look at the valve cover on it.
Yeah.
Obviously better.
Obviously better. What do you reckon, Martin?
Points the right direction, but aside from that, I don't know. K-Series is pretty cool. But I don't want to be talking about K-Series. I'm just looking at this. This is mad. Can we put some bits on it so it looks like a car?
Yeah,
we literally have to be at the dyno like now.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to go to the dyno. We're going to lose the shop.
Alan, are you flying back to Queensland now?
I am.
Alan, thank you very much. It is always a pleasure and an honour to have you in this space. Socials are down below. Make sure you check out Al at Allied. I pointed to Allied, but it's, there it is, right there. Check it out. Martin, we've got to install this stuff, and I think Dave's going to be here to finish off some wiring. And then we're on the dyno, and then the car's going to time attack. Yeah. All right, let's go.
My car goes pshh, pshh.
My car goes pshhh, my car goes I don't really wanna cop no tickets, but when I hit the clutch kick, look at my rear view, but you can't see shit. Everybody wanna be the best. If your car doesn't pshh, then please shut your lips. Mighty calm Mars is the best. Yo, my car goes rap, bitty rap, rap. My car goes shitty, chitty, bang, bang. My car goes A to B, the Civic and the Lambo when it's just a tease. Moog money in me when we leave the scene. All you hear is pshh, pshh. Hit the gas too fast and the furious. If you wanna race, then you must be delirious. Yo, you know I'm the bro from New Zealand, and I gotta show all the essays. I'm two-wheeling, peeling, you peeling. These beamers can't handle the heat I be spitting. Yo, 36 and I'm hit to get jiggy with a six-pack. Cars and Nars get busy with a sub going hard, fist bump like a Street Fighter. I don't really talk, I'ma let my 2J doing moves. He does, taking does, it's the way he do it. Marty is a buddy, cause he know what leisure space was a 36 pippin', and I'm here to make the music banging. Six bangers, only fifth gear, and I'm on grip limit.
Your car kinda sucks, man, haven't you heard? Naturally aspirated Honda turd. My car is sex spec legit and turbo, yeah, it's off its tits. Your build is garbage, it smells like skunk. And VTEC, absolute junk. You can't beat me, man, you'll never win. So take your little Civic and throw it in the bin.
To all my brothers and sisters with turbos, welcome to the party. It's great to have you here. To everybody else with no turbos, you know where your car belongs. In the bin.
Your car goes boom, boom, blah. Your car goes brap, brap, brap. Your car goes ting, ting, ting. Let me hear you say. My car goes pshh. Your car goes boom, boom, blah. Your car goes brap, brap, brap. Let's go. Your car goes ting, ting, ting.
Remix.
My car goes pshh, pshh.
My car goes my car goes I don't really wanna cop no tickets, but when I hit a clutch kick, look at my rear view, B can't see shit. Everybody wanna be the best. If your car doesn't
So this Hilux was missing a bunch of screws and clips when we got it. Now to put this grille back on, we don't have these clips here. Now normally what you could do is just get a cable tie, put it through there and then attach it, but what you're left with is a bit of a loop that looks like that. There is another method, and that is kind of making a little plug out of two cable ties. So what you do is you can feed the first one through like that, so that that end is pulling up against the piece that you need to hold on there, and then the other one, you're going to put that on so that it actually clips in like this, and then you slide that end all the way down, and now what you've got is the two large ends holding themselves together like a little plastic clip. And once that is in there and it's tight like that, then you can just get some side cutters or some scissors and cut those pieces off. And what you've got is a nice, neat connection that doesn't look like you've got a cable tie hanging out outside your grill.
This project has absolutely escalated in scale beyond what I'd originally anticipated. The scope was to keep it stock, give it a service, and then release it back into the wild. But something's happened over the last couple of months. It's not just the countless hours of time that have been put into this car, or the friends that have come from all over the country to lend a hand. This car has real spirit, and that is the culmination of its history, heritage, and our friendship. And this project has again given me an appreciation for the mechanics that keep our machines working. From your local car mechanic to the people that keep our trucks, tractors, ships, planes, and trains running. They often put their bodies on the line, and it's not an easy job, and it's most often a thankless job. But the only reason that we have the parts we need and the tools we use is because of the countless unsung heroes that keep our world turning. So to all of you mechanics out there, thank you.
Well, that is right down to the wire, people. And now it is dyno time. Dave has been here just legending.
Killing it.
Just an absolute boss.
And he's got excellent taste in music, which is
He does. We've been listening to a lot of metal today, which has been great. So the hood is going on, as some American people call it. We call it a bonnet, don't we, Martin?
Yeah.
And doesn't a baby also have a baby bonnet?
I don't know, man.
That's like the top of a baby's pram is called a bonnet.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so
They kind of got used to seeing it without a bonnet, and I kind of like it without a bonnet.
Well, Martin, we are literally right now going to put this together, make sure it starts, and
Make
then
sure the bonnet shuts.
That's it. That's it for another massive episode. Next time you see this car, it will be on the dyno, it will be making turbo noises, and it will be powered with ethanol. Won't it, Martin?
Yep.
Fuel.
Well, it's already started on ethanol. It's running
which
great.
is pretty exciting. So we'll tighten those up. Should we just make sure that actually
Just rest it and then we'll get
fits?
a spanner on it.
And it'll clip?
Yeah, it's going to go.
Well, we haven't actually tested that that's going to fit yet, but there it is. That is
Back together.
That is back together. Look, there's probably still going to be a few little things to put back together. We got quite a few leftover bolts and screws, but that's also because a lot of stuff has gone in the bin.
That's a good sign. That means all the junk's gone and only the good stuff remains.
Should we just give it a little start just to see if...
It sounds like a new car.
It sounds fantastic.
Except when you get up at it, it makes whoosh noises.
That's so, you wouldn't do
awesome.
that though, would you? You wouldn't give it a little hit with the accelerator.
Dave.
I don't reckon
Old
you would.
Dave would. That's so cool.
And I can smell the corn juice.
So good.
Well done, David. Thank you very much for being an exceptional human being. If you do want to support the show, check out mightycarmods.com. We got lots of merch there. It directly goes to help us keep doing this. We're having a great time. We hope you enjoyed it. Today's episode was not one day. It was a compilation of many days and even some nights. But next episode, we'll be hitting the dyno, so make sure you check it out. Thank you very much. Martin, thank you for bringing mechanical
awesome.
wizardry
This is great.
and enthusiasm to the table.
No problem. I love it. We got a nugget back on the road. Not that it was really off the road, but now it's on the road better than ever.
That's right.